We'll turn off the air conditioner.
All right, turning the air conditioner off.
Hey guys, what is up? I am back. JR14 is back and we are ready for another video today. And yeah, so I'm just gonna wait in here for a little bit, wait for people to start coming in, and then we will get everything underway. Also, wanted to let people know as well is if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, definitely feel free to ask. So give me a few moments here. I'm setting up. And then as I'm waiting for people to pour in, then we can go ahead and get started. So yeah, let's see if we can get this up and running the way I want to. All right. All right, we got 2 people watching right now. I'm just trying to get the uh the comment section on my computer here so I can just deviate. First of all, before we get started, make sure you give the video a thumbs up so that this way we can make sure that the content gets pushed to where it needs to get pushed, and YouTube gives it more of a suggestion to newer viewers so people can discover the channel. You know, discover the channel and discover the type of content that I do. But all right, we got about 4 people in here right now. I actually am glad that you asked that question. Now, Gabe, I'm just gonna wait until other people come into the room really quickly. Let's see, we got 4 people watching. We got 2 thumbs up. If there's 4 people watching, there's only 2 thumbs up. The people who have not given this video a thumbs up, please do so right now, and we can go ahead and get started. Um, yeah. Let me see. So let's see. I'm scared of it. 50,000 miles though. Let's see. All right. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get started with everything right now. So, all right. Let's first talk about some updates before we get into the questions. I'm gonna try to make this live stream anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the vibes that I'm getting, also as well as the amount of people watching. So the more people that watch, the longer we stay on. But if there's not that many people that stay on, then we'll cut it short. But there are some updates that I want to give you guys. First off, let's talk about Project Mark 7, right? Now, well, before actually, not even talk about Project Mark 7, let's talk about JR14 in totality. Let's talk about the channel as a whole. As you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but we're almost approaching 15,000 subscribers. What I want to do when I hit the 15,000 mark, or before I do, I actually want to get a bunch of cars lined up that I'm actually willing to drive and review for the channel. I've spoken to Mike from Slow Speed. If you guys have not checked out his channel, please do so. His channel does involve BMW content. Now he has a big turbo, fully built, full bolt on. I should say 435 with an N55 motor. Yeah, N55 engine. That's before when the 440s came out with the B58s. But he has a pretty cool channel. His car is pretty fast. I know from firsthand experience. And I definitely want to get that on the channel. Also, I believe, let's see, I believe My Culture NYC is, his name's David. He actually just picked up a 2020 C43 Mercedes Benz. Now, if you guys don't know that car is a W205 chassis C class with I believe it's 385 horsepower twin turbo V6. And, he claims that he can beat the Project Mark 7 for what it is right now versus his car with no modifications, which I highly doubt. But maybe we'll do something like that on the channel to get compare a little bit. Also, I do want to do a review on that car for you guys as well. Also, I do want to go back to in time. Shout out to Yuri, YP Auto Detail. He works out of European Auto. He has his own business, which is detailing vehicles, paint correction, all that different, all that jazz and everything else. And the good thing about his car is that it's timeless, meaning that literally it looks brand new from, I believe his car is a 90. 93, 94. I could definitely be wrong. No, I'm sorry. His car is like a 98 or like a 97, but he has a Acura Integra GSR in red. And when I tell you this car is absolutely mint, it is mint, and I cannot wait to see if it's possible that I can review that for the channel. I definitely want to do it before the winter starts to get bad and starts to snow and stuff like that and get colder, because then people want to store their cars away for the winter. Also, shout out to BJ, Print Coat Rapid. If you guys don't know who he is, check my previous videos of who did my wrap, taking off the old wrap as well as planning with me and organizing everything for the current wrap that's on the car. He just picked up a 2018 RS3. So he's definitely going to be looking at that. He's definitely going to be allowing me to review that very soon on the channel. That might be one of the first reviews that I do. So I'm pretty excited about that because I've always wanted to drive. I always wanted to drive an RS3 and get my perception on it. It's based on the MQB platform like the Mark 7 is, but it has a 5-liter, 2.5 liter, 5-cylinder. I said 5-liter. 2.5 liter 5-cylinder turbocharged engine, and he hasn't modified it yet, but I do want to drive it stock, and then I want to review another one that I know someone in New Jersey that has a modified one, so that'll be kind of cool for the channel as well. Now there's 11 people watching right now, so guys, if you're just joining in, make sure you continue giving the video a thumbs up so that this way we can keep the vibes going, we can keep everything going with the video so that everything is pretty good. Also, okay, so we talked about so those are some reviews that I want to do. I want to get back into the aspect of reviews, right? I want to get into the aspect of reviewing cars, because those videos, one, always did well. Two, it gives me a different perception of what's available out there, just in case if I have a change in my mind of what I want to get or what I want to drive or what I want to own in the future. For instance, if you guys haven't noticed, the last video that I just made last Friday was my extreme experience racing in my dream car around the racetrack, which is a 2017. The car I drove was a 3.8 liter, but my dream car is a 4-liter. And that car, I believe my dream car would be a 2017 Porsche 911 991.2 GT3. If I can swing the money, then a GT3 RS, but it most likely will be just a GT3. But that experience was great. I didn't get any review time in the car, obviously, because it is an event. So pretty much you drive as hard as you can for 3 laps with an instructor, of course. They're not just going to let you drive in a car with almost a $200,000 car by yourself. And, you know, it was a fantastic experience. And shout out to my girlfriend who actually got me the experience for my 31st birthday. Now, with that, you know, with other content that I'm other content that's going to be coming out with the channel, we talked about reviews, we talked about, you know, experiences and stuff like that. But now we're going to talk about like more modifications for Project Mark 7. Now, a lot of you guys, you know, I want to let people know that Project Mark 7's also, you know, it's getting to the point where it's almost done in my eyes, just because of the fact that I've literally touched almost all aspects of this car. I'm sure there's other things that I can do to it, you know, but so far I have pretty much done everything with the platform, and I don't think I'm not getting rid of it. So you're always going to see it on the channel. But as far as like continue modifying it, I think it's coming to a slowing aspect of it. This aspect of me modifying the car as quickly as I was before, it's slowing down. And I know you guys have noticed that in my videos. And one, I do apologize for the slowness in the videos. It's just been a lot of different things. As you guys see, I'm not in the same aspect. I'm not in the same area of where I usually do my live streams. I'm not in my parents' house. I'm in my apartment. So me and my girlfriend share an apartment. So that's where, you know, that's where we are now. So doing that, you know, trying to just set everything up. We still have a housewarming to do. There's a lot of different things that go on. So me having a day job and having my normal job, as well as doing this, it takes a toll on you a little bit. And I do appreciate everybody who has still been supportive, still watches the videos. the timing, right? So usually I put up videos every Wednesday at 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. Eastern time, but that time has changed. Now I put out videos every Friday at 10 a.m. So if you feel like the schedule's changed a little bit, it definitely has. So just want to keep you in mind and in the loop of that. So what other videos with Project Mark 7 are you guys going to see, at least this year anyway? I do have a big surprise of what's going to happen with that car towards the end of this year. It's a big reveal. It's a big deal. I am partnering with New German Performance as well as Aerofab, and there's a third company. I've been talking about this for the past 4 months, and I still have to keep it under wraps because there's a lot of stuff that's still in development. It's not finalized yet, but Project Mark 7 will be the first car. It's going to be full Mark 7s, but it's going to be literally the first. My car is pretty much going to be the first car with it, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. It's going to be sick. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to do a whole video on it. So I just need you guys to, stay tuned with that, because that's definitely going to be something worth it, right? It's no, unfortunately, it's not going to be an LS swap, but we're definitely going to be doing pretty cool things with that car, with Aerofab as well as New German Performance. And there's a third company involved with this whole partnership of what we're doing, but I can't disclose it yet because it'll give it completely away. That's probably going to happen around in the October, November area. And if you can hear noise in the background, that's my girlfriend. She's cooking. So, it's an apartment and I don't have like separate rooms. I do have a bedroom, but you know what I'm saying. Now I want to talk to you, and I also want to talk to you guys about other, so you're going to expect that. That's one video that you're going to expect. I still have to do the video for Carly Car Connections. The issue with that is that they're telling me I have full access to utilize the app so I can show you guys all the features, but I do not have access to the full app yet. And we're just going back and forth trying to figure that out. That's literally been a pain. I still have to finalize this tune, which I still have to send Nick data logs this evening. I have the data logs. He said he wanted me to do a second through fourth gear pull. So I had to drive second all the way to red line, shift to third, all the way to red line, shift to fourth, all the way to red line, and then cancel the data log and just record the acceleration from second gear to fourth gear as fast as I'm willing to go. So I already have that recorded on my access port, which is right here. And then after this live stream, I'm going to give him the data logs from that. And hopefully we will have something finalized by this week, which means after that, I can do a dyno video for you guys to show you how much power Project Mark 7 is going to actually make, how much it actually puts down to the tire. Now, the 500 horsepower mark is my goal. If I don't get that at this point, it's okay. I know the fact that I'm running 93 octane is holding me back some, and for the fact that I don't have multi-port injection. I do have a PM4 controller that I actually had to get because I burnt out my stock controller driving to Georgia to meet up with my girlfriend's family. But in the future, we're definitely going to be, handling some business with the tune and possibly running E30 in the future. So yes, that means I probably will be doing multi-port injection later on, most likely probably around the springtime. I'm not really going to deal with the fuel in E85 in winter and cold weather, because in New York and New Jersey, that's really what we deal with, is really like a lot of cold weather, and the cars don't like to start on cold weather. As far as with E85 in the tank, with E85, it's a lot difficult. It's a lot more difficult to start the car in colder weather because the fuel's a lot thicker, and it burns colder. So multi-port injection, you're going to see that this week. You're actually going to see this Friday. Another video is going to come up. I actually have to go back to Queens to finalize the installation of this video. And I apologize to Melly Design Firm in advance because of the fact that they had to wait so long for me to do everything. And, I appreciate their patience with trying to do that. It's a lightweight battery setup. It's a lightweight battery setup that will shave 19 pounds off the nose of the car just by swapping the battery. And then I have to do coding to make sure that I have to change the demographics of how that battery charges because it's such a smaller battery. So I'm gonna go through all that with you. I'm pretty much 90% of the way, but I broke something. I broke one of the terminals. So shout out to Melly Design Firm. They were able to give me out a new terminal so then I can do the installation properly and not break it again. And then this way I can install it for you guys and you guys can see that for yourselves. So that's coming out this Friday. I probably will drive to my parents' house sometime, probably on Wednesday. Tomorrow, wow, Wednesday's tomorrow because we had a Labor Day, and I hope everyone had a good Labor Day. By the way, I didn't even start that off, but I hope everyone did have a good Labor Day. But so that's what. So those are some videos that are going to be coming up. And I'm gonna do also how, like, the difference between what type of tune, what is a tune, what tunes are available. As everybody knows, APR, if you did not get a stage 2 before Labor Day, it is unavailable. You will not be able to purchase stage 2 for the Mark 7 anymore through APR because APR discontinued the downpipe and they discontinued the stage 2 tune before Labor Day. It's the day after Labor Day, so APR does not offer that anymore. So yeah, so those are some stuff that you can be expecting on the channel pretty soon. Francesco, what's going on, man? So definitely we're gonna be. So I just want to let you guys know we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do some shenanigans and stuff. I'm gonna do some more POV drives. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about that. It's not COVID. I mean, it still is COVID, but there's a lot more traffic out on the roads. So I'm going to try to do some more POVs for you guys. Hell, I may actually be able to film one this Sunday, for you guys. Considering the fact that my girlfriend has to work, so that leaves me free time to go ahead and film some more content for you guys. I'm gonna stop right there. Make sure that you guys continue giving this video a thumbs up. There's 15 of you guys watching right now, which means there we go. We got 7. If you guys are just joining in, we're gonna start with the questions and everything very shortly. But I'm just gonna get some things that I need to talk about with you guys. The biggest news is that I do have another car that I'm going to be introducing on the channel. I do have parts for that car right there. And the aspect of this new build, because it is a build, but it's not going to be nearly as aggressive as the Mark 7. Actually, it's going to be completely different than the Mark 7 because I need what is called a daily driver. And when you have a car that breaks and breaks and breaks again, you got to realize that you need to get something that can get you from point A to point B. Usually is very reliable. If something does break on it, it's cheap to fix. The parts are pretty much available. So I did pick that car up, and I'm going to be doing a whole nother series on that, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's not a Volkswagen at all, so I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not a Volkswagen at all. I want to attract more people from different. I want to attract different automotive enthusiasts, such as you guys and myself. But you guys, I know you guys are predominantly Volkswagen, and that's great. And I love Volkswagen. I love my car. I'll never get rid of it. But I do want to also, as a channel, right? As a channel, as someone who's creating automotive content, I can't just have one car. So I am going to get a second car. I'm sorry. I do have the second car already. I'm just waiting for plates and registration for the car to legally drive it on the street. And I will be doing a whole bunch of series of videos with that. So that's a whole nother bunch. That's a whole nother aspect of content that's coming out for you guys. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. Jason, what's going on, man? Jason's actually, I spoke to Jason about it. And one of the modifications that we're gonna do, he's in audio and visual, so he's definitely gonna be helping me out installing this specific component that I bought, because we talked about it a couple of times before, and I found something that was absolutely cheap. This is gonna be stuff that you guys will be very happy with because of the fact that this, that, and the third, like everything on this, everything on this daily driver, the car was cheap. The parts that I'm putting on it is cheap. That will still be functional if I spend a lot of money for them. But here's some other stuff that you could utilize. And also, if you guys didn't know, I'm an Amazon affiliate. I am a part of the Amazon affiliate program. So I am going to be doing stuff that you can always get on Amazon. And it's going to be labeled as an eBay slash whatchamacallit, eBay slash Amazon budget build. You guys can get parts for this car easily and cheap on eBay, and you guys can get them easily and cheap on Amazon. So I'm gonna combine them both to give you guys great content on both. Shout out to ShopTap, by the way. This video is not sponsored by ShopTap, but I love them. They're great. And I was talking a lot, so I needed water. 18 of you guys watching now, 7 people giving me a thumbs up. I need you guys, if you guys are just joining in, continue giving the video a thumbs up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, I need you guys to give this video a thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep the energy going. That's going to get YouTube to suggest this even after this is done. We got 19 people watching now. If you're just joining in, give this video a thumbs up so we can continue, and so that when this video is over and I can post it on YouTube, it has a lot of thumbs up based on what is watched. What is watched. So we talked about where the channel's going. We talked about some reviews that was gonna come up. We also talked about a car talk. I am continuing that. I started with one. It didn't do so hot, but I'm gonna get back into the realm of doing it. I have a number of different people that I want to talk to who are car enthusiasts who would love to just shoot the shit and talk about cars, and that's exactly what I'm here to do. And just give you guys good topics, right? So that's what I'm here for, and that's what we're going to provide for you guys on the channel. So I'm excited about it, as well as you guys should be excited about it. And yeah, so we talked about that. We talked about where the channel's going. We talked about the budget build daily driver. We talked about Project MK7 and the future mods it's getting. And yeah, so we got some videos coming up for you guys. So please make sure that if you have not done so. A lot of my viewers are not subscribed. A lot of people who comment on the videos regularly are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed to JR14, please make sure that you do subscribe so that excuse me, so that you can get post notifications on videos that I come out with every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So right, so now let's get into the questions. I see you guys, as I've been talking, you guys have been asking me questions. And we're definitely going to get into some time. Wow. Okay, I gotta really read the. I didn't look. I have the. First of all, I'm just going to say that the quality of this video compared to my other live streams is much clearer, much better. Thank you, Verizon, for that. So we're going to start off the Q&As, right? We talked about updates, but now we're going to get into some of you guys and questions that you guys have. First question here is Gabe Lear. Are you scared of crankwalk again? I heard that integrated engineering uses the same components as stock. All right. So if you guys are not familiar of what Gabe is talking about, Gabe is referring to my short block. A short block is pretty much anything from the cylinder, from below the cylinder head. So that's the block, that's the pistons, the rods, the crankshaft, everything below the cylinder head is a short block. With the cylinder head, along with the bottom end, it's called a long block. So when I had crankwalk, I actually went ahead and I decided, you know what, I needed an engine pretty quickly, and we came to some options. Me and Gio at European Auto, shout out to Gio from European Auto, we came down to some options. Those options included one, trying to figure out how to get rid of the car, meaning that, fix the car and just, slap it together with another motor, trade it and get rid of it. That was the first thing. The second thing was put a used motor in it and, build that and do that, everything else. The problem with that was that I still had to locate an engine, and these cars are still current. These cars are the current generation, which means that parts for these cars are pretty expensive. So finding a used engine was anywhere between $3,800 and $5,000 for the complete long block assembly. And then I would want to build it, right? That was going to be the interesting factor for me. So I don't know if I don't know the previous history on that motor. I don't know if it was taken care of, and then I would still have to take it apart and rebuild it anyway. That means I have to take apart the cylinder head, machine that, clean that up, rebuild it, take apart the block, machine it, get all high-end components, do everything forge on the bottom end, and it would have been more expensive than option 3, which was to buy an engine from Integrated Engineering, which was already a complete short block assembly. And I chose option 3 because, one, it was the quickest option. Two, it didn't cost as much as me buying a used engine for 5 grand, tearing it down and rebuilding it with performance components such as forged pistons and rods. It didn't make sense. Um, I would have spent like about a couple $1,000s more doing it, buying a used motor and rebuilding that versus getting an integrated engineering block. Am I afraid of crank walk again? Yes and no. I have heard of some people with integrated engineering and they've had that issue, but again, it's very minor. I'm talking about maybe two out of how many they sold. Um, Now, for the crank walk issue, I actually shout out to Jason from I believe his YouTube channel is Chicago Auto Pros. So he's the owner and founder of the detailing company called Chicago Auto Pros. He drives 140 miles a day, and actually his videos popped up in my suggested views for the day today. And he just experienced crank walk. He bought the car at around 30,000 miles. He bought it used. He bought it pre-owned. I believe his car's a 2016, 2017. And at 66,000 miles, he had crank walk. And he went through. I was literally reliving the experience that I dealt with crank walk through his video. And he has a series right now. This is just part 2 of it. But I definitely shot him a DM and I definitely told him about what was going on. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, JR, I've seen some of your videos." He's only up to episode 3. If you guys don't remember, I definitely did a whole engine rebuild series starting from when the car actually broke, to explaining what was wrong with it, to diagnosing it, to fixing the issue, and going through all the parts and everything to ensure that this doesn't happen again. In that video, I forgot the company he's dealing with, but they're based out of Chicago and they're Volkswagen specialists. But he's saying they have upgraded thrust bearings, and I'm actually curious to find out what exactly do they do to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Uh, and I'm actually very curious to see what's going to happen with that platform. I'm curious to see. Well, he already told me. I'm not going to spoil it because we and him had a conversation today, and it was said in the part 2. If you go to Chicago Auto Pros on YouTube and you look for, he has a part 1 and a part 2. Initially, the car was at 66,000 miles, and he just wanted to do maintenance on it. And he found out that in cylinder 4, there was a lot of oil on the spark plug, like saturated. The spark plug was saturated in oil, which is a big no-no, obviously, with that. So you're definitely going to see more of that. I'm actually very curious of what, I mean, I know from my aspect, because we talked about it today, I know what he's going to do, and I know what he's decided to do. And I thought it was a very smart decision based on the options that he had. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to spoil his channel like that. That's something for me to know and for you guys to find out. So make sure that you follow him on Instagram and make sure that you follow him on his YouTube channel, Chicago Auto Pros. Me and him are going to be doing a collaborated video, considering the fact that I went through this experience and now he went through this experience. So now we both have gone through this experience, and he's asking me questions that he doesn't know about because there's not a lot of information about it, and I can pretty much give him all the knowledge that I've had about it. And that's why my channel exists, because I'm here to give you guys the knowledge that you guys need for these cars, in the best way possible, to my best knowledge and my best ability, right? Because even with me doing this by myself, I had to learn. I never had a Volkswagen before. I had to learn with Volkswagen, and I learned through a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of shops, a lot of experts in this segment, and I've taken a lot back from it. I've taken a lot from it, and it's definitely have helped me along the way, and I want to pass that knowledge on to you guys. So you're definitely gonna you're definitely gonna see something with me and Jason pretty soon. Now, so am I scared about, to answer your question, Gabe, am I scared about crank walk? Not really. I'm not to the major aspect of concern, because I don't, if it happens, it happens. Then I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that when it comes down to it. But right now, I'm trying not to think about it, because there's no point of even trying to think about it. Second question is from BM717252. How reliable are the EA888 Gen 3 motors. Currently saving for a Mark 7.5 Golf R manual. They're pretty reliable. There's not a lot of issues with it. I mean, obviously, crankwalk happened with a lot of vehicles from 2016 and 17. It was like some type of build quality going wrong there. But if you're looking for like a Golf R, or if you're looking for a Mark 7.5 Golf R, I think that you're gonna have a great time with it. Pretty much, I've driven that car. I've beaten the crap out of my car, tracking it, driving aggressively. I cruise a lot as well, and I definitely can tell you that me driving the way that I drove for 97,000 miles and never having an issue, just a clutch issue. But again, that's just wear and tear. But literally having no issue, just throwing more power and more power and more power at it, definitely has gotten me to the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm pretty comfortable with this car. And now, even after the engine rebuild series, with the crankwalk issue, I'm starting to be comfortable with my car again. It not breaking, it being pretty reliable, starting up, no issues. And the car is pretty finicky, so the small stuff goes wrong here and there, but nothing catastrophic that that could go wrong. Um, let's see, Unitronic tune. Oxy, Avi, I think the X is silent. Avi 89 Unitronic tune. I don't know what you're asking. You saying, do I have a Unitronic tune? If that's what you're asking, then the answer is no. Uh-oh. Oops. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. No, I do not have a Unitronic tune. In my opinion, Unitronic's a little on the conservative side, which is it's a fair game. But I do have a Cobb. I run Cobb on my car, and I have a Pro Tune. So the Pro Tune definitely does help with a lot of different things, right? Getting the most power, make sure the car is running at its tip-top best, because no car is the same. Even though they're built in the same factory, under the same person, no tune is exactly the same. No car is exactly the same. So having a Pro Tune that runs specifically for my car and these elements, it's perfect. I do recommend you guys getting a Pro Tune if you want a lot of power, if you're doing a turbo upgrade, stuff like that. Get a Pro Tune, get something that's tailor made to your car. And when I come out with that video about tuning, then I will, then we'll go into more of, then we'll go into more of like what a Pro Tune does and stuff like that. But that's, a topic for another day. He bought a Hyundai. I did not buy a Hyundai. Francesco said, I had a 250 wheel horsepower Kia Forte SS. I mean, if they were turbocharged, I think that was pretty good too. Jason says, hashtag, what can that gadget do for you? We're definitely going to be doing something together pretty soon. Stay tuned for that, like I said, with the Daily Driver. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Dazer drives. Dazer drives. Do you recommend getting a DKM Stage 2 clutch for a Stage 2 manual GTI Mark 7 tuned? No. I do not recommend you get a DKM anything. Reasoning for that is just some things that, in my opinion, I'm not bashing anybody, but I will be completely honest with you about it. And I've had problems with DKM recently with 2 clutches in a row. And the customer service is not, I've heard of a customer service was okay for me, but I heard a lot of people having difficulty or issues with their customer service. So me personally, I wouldn't recommend dealing with something like that. Now, if you are looking for a clutch, oh, there's my dog on the floor over there. Hey, Prince. The issue, so with DKM, right, I would just recommend you do something else, meaning that I would recommend companies like, I would recommend Black Forest Industries. That's the current clutch that I have in my car. I have a Stage 4 because I need something to hold the torque. It's a 6-puck clutch. You could drive it every day, but it's not meant to be driven on every day, which is why another reason why I got the Daily. So I don't have to drive it every day. I can just, enjoy it, thrash it, enjoy it with my friends, take it on some back roads, blah, 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 and then park it back up, get back in the Daily and do what I need to do with the Daily Driver, right? So that's what it's intended for. But ECS makes some good clutches too. They're starting to make some in-house clutches. So Black Forest Industries, ECS, and I also recommend South Bend. I recommend South Bend. Those are the top three that I recommend. The only thing about South Bend, it's not a bad thing. They're just very expensive, but you get what you pay for, right? Let's see. Rich said, "Hello, fellow New Yorker here. What's going on, man?" Dazer drives. What do you recommend for tracking a stock Mark 7? I'm sorry. What do you recommend for tracking a stock GTI Mark 7.5 performance package, or is it enough as is from factory? If you want to keep your car power stock, but you want to just do some stock-ish mods that you think would track better, I totally recommend that you change suspension. Uh, so coilovers, right? Coilovers, sway bars, control arms, trailing arms. So preferably coilovers that have camber adjustment and brakes, right? So also with the brakes, I've had good experience with the stock, and I still use the stock performance package on my car. Um, I was about to say, sorry, battery died. I forgot it's one of my videos. But I would recommend doing coilovers, something with camber, trailing arms, bushings, polyurethane bushings. The dog bone mount, definitely change it. Gotta change it. You can also do uh, rear chassis brace inside the body of the car. So like in the trunk area, I came out with a video where I did the Racing Line carbon fiber chassis body brace. And that's made a huge difference for cornering. The body doesn't flex as much. It, keeps everything pushed out, which definitely has worked out pretty good, in my opinion, on some back roads for sure. Now, the other thing that I also want to do, also want to recommend to you is tires, right? So that's the number one thing. A GTI performance package out of the box does not come with the tires that you're going to want to run with tracking. I would recommend Accelera 651 Sports. I have them on my car. I run a 235 40 R18 size tire. I believe factory they run 225 40 R18 tires. Those are the stock sizes. So I went and it's a much meatier tire and they're stickier. And they're about 200 tread wear. So I get about maybe 15,000 to 20,000 miles out of them before I have to replace it. I just actually bought two new front ones anyway because my car has camber in the front and the insides were completely chewed up. I had the tires since last year. I don't drive the car as much anymore, so it was time to change them this year. So with that being said, I recommend, and the last thing I recommend is brakes. So if you're keeping the car stock power, but you just want to track the car better, I would totally recommend changing the lines to steel braided lines. ShopDAP has those for sale. They usually sell the whole kits for like $100 and something dollars. Upgrade the brake fluid, upgrade the rotors to slotted rotors, and put EBC yellow stuff pads, and that's going to be more than enough for what you're doing, and that car is going to handle and brake very, very well. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Dazzler drives. He has some. Dazzler. Let's give kudos to Dazzler because Dazzler has some questions, man. I appreciate Dazzler. Would you suggest trading in the GTI Mark 7.5 manual for a GT86 BRZ manual? Keep in mind, I'm mostly into tracking and autocross and a daily driver as well. Hell no. No. Do not trade your GTI in for a GT86 or BRZ or FRS. Do not do it. You'll regret it. No, don't do it. A GTI, in my opinion, tracks much better than a GT86. And if you do want more power, I'm not saying, I understand you want to keep it functional and daily driver friendly. The GTI is extremely more practical as a daily driver than a BRZ. I don't know if you live in a colder climate where it snows, but BRZ's rear wheel drive, you're not going anywhere. The tires that come on a BRZ are crap. The power, I've driven a BRZ, I've driven a FRS and a BRZ. they're all the same car essentially, but it's very slow in my opinion. It just needs that power bump. The new one that's coming out is going to have a turbocharged 4-cylinder from the WRX, which I think is going to be kind of interesting, but no, I don't think that I would never trade in my GTI Marks. If I had a Mark 7.5, I'd definitely keep that over having a BRZ for sure, 100%. Don't do it. Keep your GTI. Do the track mods that I told you to do, and I tell you right now, that car is going to make you smile for days. I promise you that. My Culture NYC ask, when are we going to see runs on your YouTube channel? Hopefully pretty soon. Like I said, I've been extremely busy with everything else. This car has not been the best as far as like not staying together, and it's always been breaking. So hopefully now I can possibly do some runs and put it on the channel and whatnot. Rich asks, what do I do for a living? And then My Culture NYC says, after that, dope dealer. No, I do not do drugs. I do not sell drugs, and I do not condone anyone selling drugs either. I am an accountant by trade. My day job is an accountant. I'm a staff accountant for a company, and that's what I do. Let's see. When are we going to run runs on your channel? Track days or autocross? I was supposed to do a track day tomorrow, but I wasn't able to get the days off work because I found out about it a little too soon, and I couldn't get the day off. So unfortunately, it won't be anytime soon. Hopefully, maybe I can get a track day in towards the end of September or in the beginning of October, at least to really dial everything in. Maybe I'll hit up my guy, Fun with Franzi, or East Hood Racing, Brian Frozone. And you know, he has I think it's Pineview racetrack up in Syracuse, so maybe we can go there, or maybe we can go to New York Safety Track or New Jersey Motorsport Track. I do want to at least get one track day in before the year is out, especially since I have the daily driver. I really can push the car to the absolute max now, which in my opinion is what it's built for anyway. So, and that leaves me with content for you guys. Gabe says, yeah, my 2016 Mark 7 is stock, but looking to upgrade in the future. It's not sure if I should get rid of it while I can or keep it. I haven't had any issues at all with the past year, 2 years of owning it. I think you should keep it, or keep it for a little while and wait for the 2020 to come out. I'm still waiting for Cherry Hill Volkswagen to let me know when they're getting one in so I can review one for you guys and get a full review on that car, because it's going to be absolutely amazing. Hopefully I can work with the photographer Bay with Cam, so I can do a review on his car. He has a new GLI, the Gen 7 GLI, so hopefully I can definitely do a review on that for you guys. My Culture NYC says the 2020 GTI is fire. I agree. I do like it a lot. Would I get one? Maybe. I'm not too sure. I have 2 more years until my car is paid off, so I'm not doing anything until then. Let's see. Avi says, 89 says, I bought a Mark 7 a couple of weeks ago and I want to get it tuned. Is Cobb access port worth the money? I believe yes, it is. And the reason why I say that is because if anything happens to the car, like let's say for instance, if you want to go in for service, you could flash it back to stock. If you sell the car, you can literally get $550. That's the used price. That's the price for a used Cobb access port. That's what you can sell them for today in today's market. God forbid if you get into an accident with the car. I hope you don't. I wish you nothing but the best of luck with it. If you get into an accident, you can unmarry it from the car. The car just needs power, unmarry it, and then you'll be able to package everything and sell it to somebody and get $550 back in your pocket. Versus APR, where that's a prime example. APR is just a flash. Your money there's nothing to show for it. Meaning that once your car is tuned, you sell that car with APR tune, you can't sell it to somebody else. You can't sell the APR tune to somebody else. It's married to that car. It's married to that VIN number, and there's nothing you can do about it. And there's no module or dongle for you to keep, to sell, to actually give to somebody else. Paul Walker says, I like your name. How do I order a Pro Tune for the Cobb access port for my GTI? So the way it works is that you would go to a company that does Pro Tunes that actually is a Cobb seller or Cobb vendor. For instance, EQT, Equilibrium Tuning, is actually a vendor for Cobb, but they offer Pro Tunes. So you can buy the access port from them. And then also on top of that, you can get a Pro Tune and they'll start, you data log and you do back and forth e-filing, not e-filing, but e-tuning back and forth and sending the files back and forth. And you're able to get that done, deal, situated, and you're good to go. It's the easiest way to do it, and I totally recommend you doing it that way. Gadget Haas says MK7 pulls. Yes, I do plan to do some pulls in the GTI. I've done more on my Instagram page. If you check out my Instagram, if you guys don't know what my Instagram is, I post there almost every single day. And my Instagram name is JR14YT on Instagram. So go ahead and follow me on there. And I usually put out content on a daily basis from there. I love my rigs racing. It's a modified CM. That's cool. That's cool. Dazzler Drives. Really appreciate your replies, bro. Keep up the good work. Dazzler, I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the questions. And I really do appreciate, you doing, you asking me the questions, because that's really what we're here for, right? This is why we're here. You guys ask questions because you guys are concerned. J City 943 says, I have a 2018 Mark 7.5. What tune should I get? Is there a way to tune without a dealership knowing? Yes and no. So the way that I did my car, I bought my car from a different dealership, but I serviced my car at a different dealership that was tuner friendly. Go on the forums in your area, ask around to see what company, what dealerships are tuner friendly. I seen people get flagged for the dumbest stuff, but honestly, there's not that much to go wrong with these cars. Turbo failures is very, very extremely rare in 2018. Those really were only 2015 vehicles, and even that number was pretty small. So you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you got to do your own research on that. So that's what I did on myself. So I basically had a lot of friends and a lot of car meets that I went to. The car club that I was a part of, all were in Long Island. So obviously I asked a lot of Mark 7 owners, hey, where do you get your car? Where did you get your car serviced from? I have a check engine light for this. I'm tuned, blah, 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 blah. Here's why I like Cobb, because you can unmarry the Cobb access port from your car and it doesn't seem like it's tuned. Now, if a company really wants to find, if a dealership really wants to find out if you're tuned, there's going to be no way to go around that. Most cases, they're not going to really dig deep and try to find something that try to like run their, because it's time, right? So they're not going to spend and spin their wheels all day trying to figure out if you're tuned or not. They're going to try to diagnose the car to the best of their ability and send the diagnostic file to Volkswagen. Volkswagen then approves the work if it's actually a fault of the manufacturer or if it's a fault on the consumer. And then they'll either warranty or not warranty the work. My experience with dealerships has been very great. It's been pretty good. My car is not TD1 flagged. It's not flagged at all. And I've been going to dealerships and my car has been serviced before. I don't service my car at a dealership anymore just because, one, they charge too much money. But I do get parts that I need, like bolts and screws and stuff like that I can't get in a hardware store because Volkswagen likes to use Torx bits and all this other stuff. Then I go to Volkswagen and get the parts. I have a parts account with Volkswagen anyway. Or I just order it from ECS. Most likely I order from ShopDAP, things of that nature. So these cars are really easy to work on. It's not really difficult. The 4-cylinder is the E888 engine is a pretty simple platform to do a lot of cool things on yourself. Spark plugs are very easy to change. Oil is very easy to change. Coolant flushings are very easy to change. If you have a manual or DSG, the service on those is pretty easy to do. You can do it in your driveway. Only takes about a couple of hours. I've done a video where I've done all the maintenance myself, and it's been pretty cool from there. So that's some options for you if you guys decide to go that route. There are ways around it, but Stamadon said, he says no, dealer will also know once it's time or tune. Also, they can also tell by how many times the computer was flashed. That's one way to tell. Two, they can also tell by boost parameters, right? So there's a certain interval of boost PSI. If you guys don't know this really quickly, bar sensors, right? So bar sensors pretty much are the sensors that measure air before and after the throttle body. There's one put sensor that's in the throttle body pipe before it gets through the throttle body, and there's a map sensor that's actually inside of the intake manifold after the air gets in through the throttle body. So there's two measures of air. Um, there's no mass flow air sensors on our car, by the way. So like in the intake, it's just strictly through the throttle body, before and right after the throttle body. So that means in the throttle body piping, the charge pipe, or the charge pipe, or the the charge pipe right before the charge, right in the charge pipe before the throttle body, and in the intake manifold after the throttle body. Those are the only two sensors. If it reads normally, the car will not see anything over 30 psi, so it will automatically throw an EPC light. I learned that the hard way because I knew I had to change sensors once I ran over 31 psi. So there's ways for Volkswagen. Basically, what I'm trying to just basically say in a nutshell, I got off tangent a little bit, is that Volkswagen, if they really wanted to find out if your car has been tuned, they can find out. That's just simple as that. You're rolling the dice. At the end of the day, you are rolling the dice. I took a chance. I had really good luck with not dealing with, being flagged or anything like that. Just do your research, find a dealership that is tuner friendly, and you should be good. Cloud File says currently own a 2010 Mark 6 GTI manual with 130,000 miles. Has APR Stage 2 on it. I use it for autocross and road trips. I live in New York and I don't need a car. LOL. I'm not sure what to do next as far as mods. Since you have a Stage 2 tune, I think the next step for you, if you wanted more power, I would recommend KO4 swap the turbo or do a Garrett turbo swap. That's probably going to be the next bet for you. And also fueling. I mean, honestly, in a Mark 6, that's pretty much what you can do with the car. Or if you don't want to go with that, do suspension work, Rich also says, what dealer do you go to who's tuner friendly? Now, I go to Huntington. If I do have an issue, I personally don't go. I can't. My car's 111,000 miles on it now, and it's completely modified. I don't even have the existing motor in the car anymore. So it would make no sense for me to go to Volkswagen to diagnose an engine issue, even though it's not even the original OEM engine in the car anymore. But I would recommend, if you want to go to a dealership and you want to find a dealership who is tuner friendly, I totally recommend going to Huntington Volkswagen. They're located on Jericho Turnpike in Huntington, New York. They're pretty tuner friendly. Jose's pretty dope. That's my sales guy. I mean, not my sales guy. That's my what's his name? He's a service rep. Service rep. He's really cool dude. Has a Mark 7 himself that's modified, and he'll pretty much not BS you around. So, definitely go to Huntington Volkswagen for your services. But if you want someone that can do the work and do it right the first time, this is why I deal with a shop now. It is European Auto. Out on 3480C Hampton Road, Oceanside, New York. Gio's the owner. Felipe's one of the mechanics that worked on my car. He built my motor from scratch. So he's the one that did everything and got everything functional to what it is today, the monster and beast that it is today. And they're pretty fair with pricing as well, and they're very quick with the work, and Gio will, again, not BS you around and not beat you over the head with pricing when it comes down to doing an engine repair or some type of maintenance or things of that nature. They work on Porsches, Volvos. They work on a lot of different other cars as well. European cars, there's their specialty. That's why they call it European Auto. So I hope that helps. So yeah. My girlfriend is asking, what is your dog's name? It is actually my girlfriend's dog, but we share him. His name is Prince. And I think he's in the room with my girlfriend now, or is he underneath the chair? You just never know. Sometimes he'll just walk anywhere. See, there you go. He's with her. But his name is Prince. And he is a Yorkie. So yeah. So but listen, guys, we're coming. This is good. We have 24 people watching right now. Before we get off of here, get this video a thumbs up. Come on, guys. Come on, people. There's 24 people watching. There's 18 thumbs up. I know some of you guys didn't give the videos a thumbs up yet. Make sure that you do. We're coming up on the hour now. If you guys want to see another Black Forest clutches are out of stock, don't worry, Rich. I know the owner very well. They're coming out with another batch very soon. They don't play around when it comes down to customer service, and that's why I went to Black Forest Industries for clutches. ECS is another fantastic option there, fantastic with customer service as well, and those are some options for you guys. But like I said, we're coming up on the hour now. I'm going to put this video to a close. This was a great live stream, guys. I really do appreciate the time and effort, and I'm happy with the lighting and the quality of the video. It actually turned out to be really clear and everything, which is great. Rich, I'm going to answer this last question for you, and I'm going to go. South Bend Daily, yes, that is a good clutch. You can do a stage 3 clutch daily. You could do a stage 2 daily, and you should be okay. So I totally recommend South Bend. South Bend is another fantastic brand as well of clutches. They're expensive, but you get what you pay for. All right, guys, if you didn't already, give this video a thumbs up. Give this live stream a thumbs up because it's about to be posted on YouTube, which means that we're finally at a close. And thank you guys all for coming in on this live stream today, giving really good feedback, asking questions. And we'll be back probably next month in October with another Q&A and updates. This week is a video coming out, so stay tuned for JR14 this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And you guys always remember, you know, with modified cars that have issues, but then we have daily drivers and fans that want to ask questions, you guys always remember that cars are and always will be a lifestyle. Have a good night and enjoy your day.